Ayo, welcome into the CHGO Bets Daily podcast. Joey, I'm going to blame you for that one because you said the CHGO Bets Daily podcast about 20 minutes ago while you were just getting the show prepped, and I rolled with it. Welcome into CHGO Bets Daily. There's no the. Welcome into the podcast that's presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean Anderson. Or, nope, that's not even my tag. What's going on, Cody? At Sean_W_Anderson. That's Cody Del Mendo. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. We're getting produced today by Joey Spathis, and apparently Joey's got me all thrown off today.
He's got you thrown off. Maybe it's because it's our first show with DraftKings as our new sponsor.
That's true, and I'm excited for that. I will say we'll probably get into a little bit of this, but, you know, now a new sports book. I've always been a points bet guy. Now we're going into DraftKings, and I'm excited. I think the markets, there's a lot more markets. You got to be honest. Like, there's a lot more ways to gamble with DraftKings. So
there is.
I'm excited.
You got that. You know, I used to say that PointsBet was my favorite app. I will roll over and look at it every morning. I also did that with DraftKings. I just couldn't ever say it. So, yeah.
Now you can.
Now I can. DraftKings is my favorite app. I wake up every day and I look at the lines. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a curse. It's a blessing and a curse, Cody.
Yeah, for sure. One thing though I will say about DraftKings that I've already learned that I really like, is that you can place a bet and then you can share it to like their quote unquote social feed.
Yeah.
And then people who look at the social feed will see it. And then it will notify you if anyone actually tails you and places that bet and rides with you. I placed the same game parlay yesterday on Monday Night Football, and I'm sorry to like the 9 people who tailed with me because none of the 4 legs hit. But it was cool to see random people say like, "Yes, I'm in. I'm riding with you," and I was like, well, this is cool.
Yeah, there you go. You lost people money.
I lost people money,
congrats.
but like people gave me a shot. You know what I mean? Like
they believed in you.
They did believe in me.
They believed in Cody.
They believed in me. So it was cool. Yeah. I think there's a lot of cool things on the app that we didn't have before. So I'm excited to use it and hopefully get back up off the ground this weekend, because like holy shit, was it a bad weekend for me.
Yeah, it was an awful weekend for me. It was a disgusting weekend, and I really don't even want to talk about it. It was an awful day yesterday with Justin Herbert not throwing a touchdown pass. I thought it was such a gimme. It was too easy not to take. Justin Herbert boosted from -800 to throw a touchdown pass up to +100. He's thrown a touchdown in every single game in his career.
Until yesterday,
which was awesome.
You know what? DraftKings, that was we're giving you free money because we want you to bet more, and it backfired on them. Mm-hmm. It definitely backfired on them. Like people can say, "Oh, those odds boosts, they'll haunt you or whatever." It was -800. Like if you didn't use the boost, you would have to put down $800 just to make 100 if you were to take that bet,
and you would have lost $800.
Right? Don't tell me that DraftKings knows something. That was just a shitty football game.
Well, that was a shitty football game. It was a good. I mean, Denver does have a great defense. I mean, the past 5 games,
it was actually better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, they've allowed 1 touchdown pass. And to be fair to Herbert, too, he's dealing with an injury. His past 2 worst games were the 2 games prior against Houston and Cleveland. So I wasn't too shocked that it happened. It was just the fact that it was plus money. He's done it in every single game. Like, of course, this would be the one game that this would happen. But we talk about the bad luck this weekend. I had a parlay this past Sunday, a 3-leg parlay plus 225, Jets at plus 14.5, Patriots is plus 3.5. Both those teams won. And then I also had the Bills at plus 3.5. That was $6 to win 21. But then Cody, on Sunday night, I decided to fucking throw it all away. Turned $6 into 21. And then on the Sunday night game, I took the alternate under of 42.5, and the Eagles live line of -6.5. You may be wondering, Sean, why is that so bad? The Eagles won by 9. They won 26-17. I had the over-under of 42. I had under 42.5.
Same.
40. Yeah, 26 plus 17, that's 43. So that's a loss.
Yeah,
so I
that's
hate
a loss.
myself.
Yeah.
I hate myself.
It was still the right play. I don't regret taking it. I did not envision the Cowboys to have some magic in that third quarter, but they did. Cooper Rush, thank you for losing me money.
Jerk.
But yeah, that was tough.
I bombed this week on college. College was bad.
I even took Cowboys +7, and it was dead, and then it was back, and then it was dead again. Stupid. I actually did okay at college. I went 12-7 on college football slate this weekend. I should have stopped after that. It was my NFL weekend that didn't do good, and it started with losing $65 on prop bets during the Bears game Thursday night, in which everyone got to watch me on YouTube just be pissed off because not because of my bets, but because of the team sucking.
Yeah.
But then on top of it, I didn't win any of the prop bets I placed down on it, so that sucked. And then just Sunday, noon slate was kind of in, and then the afternoon slate, I had some bad beats. I had Saints +3. They are literally covering. They're winning the entire day. And then the final 2 minutes, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase come out, and not only do they win, but they cover. They win by 4 and not 3. Just so many bad beats like that. What was the afternoon one? I had an afternoon one that was I had Seahawks +2.5. I hit that one.
You any Chiefs Bills?
I took the Bills -2.5. That one hit.
There you go.
But there was another game. Oh, Carolina and the Rams. I had Carolina +9.5 or +10, and it was 10-7 at halftime. They lose 24-10. So Carolina, I think if you could put, I think I said at the beginning of the year about who could be the worst team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I said Carolina at +1,200 isn't a bad play. And right now, they are the worst team in the NFL, in my opinion.
They are looking
far and away the worst team in the NFL.
They are looking like they're going to take that crowd, especially with
the Bears might pass them up eventually.
The way Robbie Anderson walked off the field and then was traded too. I mean, just ugly from Carolina. They've already fired their coach. It was a good call by you. The Bears aren't worse than that team.
Yeah.
If the Bears and Panthers played, I'd easily take the Bears. Just to go to my Saturday slate because it was awful. And if you followed me on Twitter, you would see the live updates of me just going 0-4. I had Penn State +7. They lost 41-17.
I had that too.
I had Texas -6.5. Joey, they won by 3 against Iowa State.
Win's a win.
I had Texas to score 40+ points. They didn't score 40+ points. I had Clemson -3.5. That won. I had James Madison to score 40 points. Not only did James Madison ranked lose, but they were 2 points away from scoring 40. They had 38. I also had Kansas +9. Cody, guess how much they lost by?
Well, they lost by 2 touchdowns, I think.
No, they lost by 10.
Oh, no, yeah.
I had them
+9.
+9. They lost by 10.
Lost by 10.
I had Buffalo to score 40 points against UMass, who's 1-6. Buffalo scored 40 points in the past 2 games. They scored 34. Hate my life. It's not fun. Yeah. It's not fun anymore. But today we have a lot of fun to have on the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
I did lose money on college football live betting. I live bet Bama when I got them at plus money.
Okay.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it.
The 2 things I didn't take, and one of them was going to be a loss anyways, but I should have taken it. Oklahoma State money line. I wanted to take that. I didn't end up taking it. I'm glad I missed out on USC money line, but USC +3. I questioned why that was a line. I mean, they only lost by 1, and then I didn't take Oklahoma State or USA either. I just am saying that these are the ones I should have.
USC ruined me too.
And I also wanted to take Tennessee first half point spread at +4.5 and Tennessee first half money line. Both of those would have hit.
Yeah. Okay. We've talked them all.
Yes. And the virtual set
I did take the over on Alabama and Tennessee, and I did take Tennessee +9, but again, I live bet Alabama money line at +140.
He scored 100 points.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was
really
the easiest over ever. I was sitting at Rizzo's on the north side and was just vibing. I was like, this is the easiest over ever.
Well, and the virtual stealth just joined us on the YouTube chat and said, yes, I lost the Herbert bet yesterday, talking about DK's nice boost.
Worst.
And NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back. So tip off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings Stepped Up Same Game Parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sports app opt in. Usually when you get to the homepage, they have some banners up there with all of their promos. You just have to tap that to opt in and place a stepped up same game parlay today. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is where I go to bet on the NBA, and that's where one of the nice boosts is today. The lock for Cody and I today. I have $25 in my bank. Cody's got like 500 something because he's a jerk. I got 25. My lock of the day, if I put a lock down, putting $10. There's a boost for Kevin Durant to score 20 plus points tonight against the Pelicans. We looked through the numbers. KD has had a couple games where he scored 18. His lowest point total in recent memory was against the Pelicans back in January, where he scored 12 points. However, he only played 12 minutes, so he scored a point a minute. If he plays at least 20 minutes tonight, I think KD's scoring 20. So you can get Kevin Durant to score 20 points at plus 100 tonight on DraftKings Sportsbook. So go over, opt in today at the DraftKings Sports app.
If we lose that one too,
I'll tip my hat. I'll tip my hat to
I'll be tweeting at DraftKings Sportsbook and asking them for mercy.
Yeah, seriously. Like, give me a free bet back. But download the DraftKings Sports app today and use promo code CHGO. Make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Okay.
Can we do this, or is that for new people? Can I bet $5 today and get $200?
Probably for
new customers.
New customers.
If you didn't have an account before, you botched it.
That's the thing, is I am a DGen and have an account on every sports book. And the thing is I had a DK one when I was I was at the Score. I was just a producer. We really didn't have one, so I was using FD and DK. And then ended up moving up to PB. When they started sponsoring this show, and now we're back to DK, and I just regret making an account with DK because, again, new customers have
your girlfriend.
Yeah, I should sign my girlfriend up and steal her phone to bet. I'll wake up and immediately check her phone and her DK app.
Now that's true degeneracy right there.
Yeah, but that's the thing. For new customers, this is a really, really fantastic deal. If you like the Bulls to win tomorrow against the Heat, place a $5 bet and get $200 in free bets. That's for new customers. When you use the code CHGO, it is a truly, truly fantastic deal. Yeah, $5 to get $200 in free bets.
You could put that $200 on anything.
On the boost.
On the boost.
You for KD to score 20
put it
points.
On the same game parlay I'm going to tell you about before the end of the show.
Yeah, well, we want to get into it. We want to get into some NBA, and then we'll get into...
Do we want to do the futures first?
Let's give them Bulls talk first, and let's go into the
Bulls
futures.
Talk, okay.
Because I got some Bulls same games that I want to talk about.
All right. Okay, so the line is what, 6.5 tomorrow? Right now, it's currently 6.5. It was 6 yesterday. It's moved to 6.5. So a lot of money coming in on the Heat. Over under 216.5. Bulls, obviously, they're a 6.5 point dog. So you can bet the Bulls money line for them to win in Miami. Last year, they did not play well in Miami. They didn't play well against good teams last year. But that's last year. This is this year. You want me to convince you to bet the Bulls? All right, well, I think Ayo Dosunmu is going to be better this year, and he's got to be better, honestly, with Lonzo Ball out. And I think Patrick Williams, he's healthy, and he's kind of like this is the make or break year for him to really break out to be or to live up as a top 5 pick in the draft or whatever pick he was. 4, thank you. And I do like the Bulls' interior defense better with the addition of Andre Drummond. So him and Vooch, Drummond's going to come off the bench. So I think Pat Williams is going to be starting. I assume he's going to be
power forward. That was
at power forward. So the market is low on the Bulls right now because you don't know what you're going to get out of Ayo Dosunmu and Pat Williams. So if you're high on Ayo Dosunmu and Pat Williams, then you better start slamming the Bulls ASAP. And I'm high on Ayo Dosunmu at least. I want to be high on Pat Williams, but I'm definitely high on Ayo Dosunmu because he's playing for another contract this year. He's great. He's a great defensive player for his position, and we saw the videos all during the offseason of him working out and getting better. I do think he will be a better player this year. I would be shocked if he regresses from what we saw last year. So I like him with Zach and DeMar and Vooch and Pat Williams, that starting lineup. You got Caruso back as well. I think him come back in the bench role is better suited for him than what he was as a starter. I think there's upside in taking the Bulls. I'm not saying bet the Bulls money line, but I do. The 6.5 is attractive just because, again, I think the market is low on the Bulls right now because you don't know what you're going to get out of those two guys I mentioned. So if you want to try to get ahead, this is the chance to do it.
My worry is, and Reese says Bulls bench will be key. I kind of feel like the Bulls bench is what is going to help them a lot. Like, I worry mostly, like, is DeMar, Zach, and Vooch, like, that top-end talent? Like, can they actually carry a team? Because I love Ayo's length. And the fact that, I mean, he's developed an outside shot. He's become so aggressive. He just feels really comfortable at the NBA level. I think him playing, he ended up playing, 4 years or 3 years at Illinois?
3.
Yeah, 3 years at Illinois. You saw that first year, like, it was in him. He had all that talent, but it wasn't really polished. That sophomore year, he becomes really polished. And then that junior year, it just all came together for him. And you see that transfer over to the NBA. I think he's not going to bat an eye at the fact that he's at a start in the starting position. I think this is something that he's always dreamed about. And, he's been envisioning in it. I like his length. I like his ability to shoot from the outside. I think he's going to be one of the best point guards.
He's going to have to guard Kyle Lowry, who maybe if this was like a few years ago, I'd be a little worried about, but this is an older Kyle Lowry.
He's bowling ball.
Yeah, like I feel good about his matchup against Kyle Lowry tomorrow. And a lot of Ayo's game is very similar to Lonzo Ball's. Like, is he as good a passer as Lonzo Ball? Probably not. But a lot of people think this guy has never played point guard. The guy played point guard his entire 3-year stretch at Illinois. That he literally won the award for best point guard in the country in college. Like, I don't understand.
Let him sleep.
I don't understand the national media talking about that in a negative way. So, again, just based off or just tomorrow, I will be taking Bulls plus 6.5 because I am a homer and because I think the market is low on them right now. I'm ready to be hurt again because all the Bulls did last year was lose against good teams. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I think the team will actually shockingly be a little bit better than what we're all expecting. A lot of the national media, like I think Kendrick Perkins has them as like an 11 seed, something like that. Like, I think they still finish in the middle of the pack at least this year.
I don't know where they finish, and we'll get into that with futures. Do you have a same game that you want to bring it up?
Here's my same game.
Because I got a same game, and then we'll get into the larger discussion on where the Bulls
you go 50% profit boost on DraftKings, right? So if you opt in on that, you go same game parlay, go to the Bulls Heat market and hit that little slide button that goes the same game parlay. I got Nikola Vucevic, 10 plus rebounds, Pat Williams, 1+ blocks.
I like that one too. Right now, I don't know where the Bulls markets are. They've all disappeared.
Right now they've disappeared, but they're going to be back up there before tomorrow. The game's tomorrow. So.
I love that Pat Williams block one. I like that one.
Pat Williams, 1+ blocks. Kyle Lowry, under 10.5 points. And Ayo Dosunmu, 1+ steals. That's at plus 950 before the boost if you don't have that in. Once you use the boost, it's up to plus 1425.
Ooh.
So like $10 wins you almost $150, something like that, if I'm mathing correctly. I think that's actually a really good bet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Again, and I think I've kind of already explained why I like that because I told you that I think Ayo is a solid defensive player. I think Pat, this is a big year for him. He's going to be playing power forward, so he's going to be a matchup that's not good for a lot of people that are bigger. Vooch, he's a rebounding machine. All he does is get double-doubles. And then I don't like Kyle Lowry's matchup with Ayo Dosunmu, so I'm going under the 10.5.
I think people also underestimate Patrick Williams again because like he just turned 21. Back in August, on August 26th, he turned 21. He's still 21. Like if he came out today in the NBA draft or this year in the NBA draft, like he would be 21 years old as a rookie. Like, you'd expect him to step in, have like a little bit of a hurdle, but he said 2 years of experience. Like I really don't think this is going to be a step back for the Bulls. I think this is the future for Patrick Williams to take that step forward. I understand that he hasn't been where people wanted him to be for a first-round pick, but still, all the tools are there. He is still 6'7". He is still very long. He's still very lanky. I think that this season might be the breakout season for him. I like Patrick Williams at +1 block. I also do like him points, rebounds, and assists over 12, and I would say the same for Ayo. I like Ayo over 12 points, rebounds, and assists as well. If you have to get that at like 13 or 14 at minus money, I still think it's going to work out for you. But I do think Patrick Williams and Ayo, their career versus the Heat, they've done decently, and I just think, especially with them being starters, I think they're going to shine. My worry is what will Levine, DeRozan, and Vooch do. I think the other guys will eat. I don't know about that 6.5.
Yeah,
I think I'd lay the Heat if I had to pick a line bet here.
I mean, it's first game of the year, and it's the first, which means it's the first home game for the Heat. So you know their fake fans are going to come out and show up mid first quarter and cheer whatever. I just think the Bulls are going to play.
Teams are cheering.
No,
fans are cheering.
I just don't like Heat fans. I still have scars from when LeBron, Wade, and Bosh were there. I just think the Bulls will play better against good teams this year. They were so bad against good teams last year, especially after Lonzo Ball got hurt. And I know Lonzo Ball being out is a huge loss. It's definitely a huge loss. But I feel like this team is going to. They're going to find a way to play better against good teams this year, and I really think a lot of it will be because of Ayo and because of Pat Williams. There's high upside on both those guys, and again, the market is down on the Bulls right now because of them and not really knowing what to expect for them. So I think it's a good time to hop on the Bulls. You want to bet the money line? You haven't signed up on DraftKings yet? Go sign up. Use that $200 in free bets on Bulls money line if you want. That way, it's free bets. You're not even like losing anything if you really want to do it. But I do like the 6.5, and right now it's at 6.5 right now. It could be 7 tomorrow. If more money keeps coming on the Heat, then so be it. But I think the 6.5 is fair. But with the way that it's moving, if you really like the Bulls, wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, and you can always see what like Cody does each and every morning. Wake up and check your sportsbook app. Yeah. Wake up and check your DraftKings app and see where that line is. All right, let's go into some of these futures here. We have futures for NBA champion, conference winner, division finishing position, division straight forecast, conference finalist, winner special, exact outcomes. We got wins and playoff bets as well, awards, record breaker for LeBron James. How will he break the scoring record? A 2-point field goal, a 3-point field goal, a free throw. When will he break it? Over, under. There's a lot of different lines here that we can do future-wise. So we don't have to do every single one. We don't have to go through every single one, Cody. But what do you like?
I wrote 6 down that I like, and they're not even all Bulls ones. But I can start with the Bulls since we've been talking about them.
You could even guess point per game.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have Joel Embiid over 30.1 points per game.
Right.
A lot of fun futures.
So the total for Bulls wins this year, or as of right now on DraftKings, is 41.5. It's at minus 125, so it's not really that juicy. And I think that the Bulls are going to be middle of the pack. 42 wins is basically like an 8 seed, right? I think they'll be more of like at least a 5 or a 6. So you get the Bulls to win 45 plus games at plus 190, and I like. That's plus money. That's more juice. And they even have a market for 50 plus wins. You really think the Bulls are going to win 50 plus games? Then you can go place that bet too. But I think 45 is possible. I think that's reachable. And 45, and Lonzo will be back later in the year.
Yeah, they got 46 last year. That made him the 6th seed. 45 would have put him still at the 6th seed. Nets had 44 wins. Yeah, the 7th seed.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not far off.
Yeah,
so I like it.
I just want to bring up because they have conference seeding as well, and the Bulls right now is over 8.5 at minus 115. So if you think they'd be the 8th seed or better, it might be a market you want to look into.
I think they'll finish better than having to play in the play-in tournament. I genuinely think that.
Cleveland will be better this year. Charlotte will probably be a little bit worse. Atlanta, they're about the same. Brooklyn will be better this year. I don't think Toronto will be as good. I don't think the Heat will win 50 games this year. I could see them finishing at least top 8. Yeah, I see probably the Cavs and Nets jumping them, but I really don't see the Hawks overtaking them.
Yeah, the Cavs are an interesting team, right? They just added Donovan Mitchell. They got a nice young core they got there with Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. Mm-hmm. I get it. But they haven't played together yet. So I think that might take some time. Maybe maybe they don't gel right away. And maybe that leads to their seeding being worse than what we expect right now. But
Bulls over-under is 41.5. Cavs over-under is 47.5.
Really? Okay.
I'll take 47.5 with plus 105. I like that.
Well, again,
because I think it'll take time for them to gel. I mean, even look at the super team for the Heat and Knicks. I mean, like that's LeBron James, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving all playing together. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley might take them time to gel.
Yeah, well, 47.5. Yeah, I on paper I would say the Cavs look like a better team right now, but again, a lot of people are down on DeMar DeRozan too. People are waiting for him to finally like kind of fall off, but everyone was saying that last year, and then he had like he literally had his best season of his career. I think this year maybe his points per game goes down a little bit, but that's because you're getting more production out of other guys. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he's having a bad year. It just means that the other guys on the team are playing better. Because he carried the Bulls, especially after Lonzo Ball went out last year. Again, I just feel like you're going to get more production out of other guys, and the bench will be key for sure. So anyway, I love Bulls to win 45-plus games. That means they just got to win 45, and you get that plus 190. That's literally 4 more wins than at minus 125. The odds are juicy there. I like that. What else? Bulls really. Patrick Williams at most improved player plus 5,000.
No,
that's a lottery ticket. He's gonna start. He's gonna play a lot. You never know. You never know.
That. I mean, the thing is with most improved player, like it is like the most favored player is Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards like that improved, or is Anthony Edwards just like played 3 years in the NBA? Like that's the thing with most improved player is like for him to win it, he probably have to put up like 27, 7, and 7 because Anthony Edwards is going to score like 30 points this year.
Right. Well, Patrick Williams' stats, like if you look at like his per game or whatever, it's like it's not that special. Plus, he was hurt all of last year. Like I think that there's value at least at plus 5,000 that maybe he could do it.
But I like Jalen Green maybe at plus 3,000 just because last year wasn't great for him. He's playing on a bad Rockets team. Maybe he puts up a ton of points. Cade Cunningham, maybe he turns it around. They're a little bit better in Detroit. I like him at plus 2,000. But like it just seems like such a crapshoot with most improved player that I'd stay away from that market.
Speaking of Cade Cunningham, I love Jaden Ivey to win Rookie of the Year.
Okay,
plus 850. The guy is a stud. He dominated the Big Ten, and that was I'm a little biased, but the Big Ten was the best conference in college basketball last year. Maybe the SEC was a little bit better in terms of depth, but and they did play better both teams kind of struggled in the NCAA tournament, or both conferences kind of struggled in the NCAA tournament. That's just what happens every year. But again, he played up against some really good teams in the Big Ten last year, and he's going to be starting for the Pistons. I think the Pistons are going to be better. I think they'll make the playoffs. You have him and Cade Cunningham, and they have some other nice pieces around that. I think those two guys could be decent. I think like I look at Jaden Ivey and all I think is Ja Morant. I think that's same type of player. The guy who can go coast to coast, one man fast break type stuff, and he can shoot. I mean, and he's an athlete. At plus 850 for him to win Rookie of the Year. I know it's not like plus 5,000 for like Patrick Williams, but I do think plus 850. I dabble.
Well, hey, there's a huge favorite in that market. Banchero at plus 180 is a heavy favorite, and even then you're bypassing Keegan Murray, who's at like plus 550. I like the Jaden Ivey pick. I do think Detroit's going to be better, so I think with Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, maybe we'll see a boost for those two. I do want to throw a shout out for MVP. I would take Doncic at plus 425. I don't see Jokic repeating for a third time this year. Yeah. Embiid's just a real crapshoot with his health. So at plus 650, it's not bad, but you can get Giannis at plus 600. If I'm picking between Giannis and Embiid, I'd rather take Antetokounmpo just because he hasn't won in a couple years, and I think he'd be healthier than Embiid. I don't see Durant winning it at plus 800. Steph, again, you have worries about health there, and then you got Jason Tatum at plus 1,400 and John Morant at plus 1,500 before you get to Zion Williams at plus 2,200. So I really do think Luka at 4-1. Don't look past it just because he was so good after they traded away Kristaps Porzingis, and I don't think that anyone's going to be able to put up the numbers that he has. And plus, Dallas is going to be a little bit better. People see that improvement. People see his numbers. and
He's coming
he
off
won't be
a
named
huge
Luka
playoff run
Doncic,
last year. Yeah,
or he won't be named Nikola Jokic.
I mean, yeah. If you want to bet Luka, bet it now, because if he starts the year off hot, then those odds will only get worse for you. So yeah, I get it now. I kind of like sprinkling a little on Tatum and Ja Morant. Tatum, led the Celtics all the way to the finals last year. They didn't win it, so like there's value in thinking that he's going to carry that team again. And if they're the best team in the East, then most times the guy who wins the MVP is the guy who's on the best team. Normally, the Jokic was a little bit of an outlier, but that's kind of why I kind of like Tatum at plus 1,200. And then Ja Morant, I mean, the guy, I think he put himself in the MVP race last year until he got hurt in the second half of the year. I think that there's a good. I mean, he's the guy. He's the guy in Memphis. They were really good last year. They can do that again, maybe be a little bit better. Maybe Ja Morant puts himself in that. I just really love Ja Morant. He's a fun player to watch.
Well, and real quick, Reese says, I'm calling Luka to get MVP, but Mavs as a whole going nowhere. 25 games after they traded Porzingis. Mavs went 20-5, and Luka Doncic averaged 32, 9.5 boards, and 8 assists.
It's pretty good.
Sounds like an MVP, especially if they win about 40 to 42
He's
games.
due for one because like he plays like an MVP every freaking year anyway.
Right.
But their team has just never been good. So if I think it's a lock if the Mavericks really are better and assert themselves as a top 3 team in the West, then yeah, I mean, I could see him winning the MVP. But just based off how history shows, usually the guy who wins it is their team is the best in whatever conference.
Let's wrap this up with champion future odds. Clippers and Warriors and Celtics have the highest odds at plus 600. There's not a clear favorite. Nets at plus 700. Bucks at plus 800. Suns at 12-1. Sixers at 15-1. Lakers at 18-1. Nuggets at 18-1. And then you have the Heat at 20-1. Grizzlies, Mavericks at 22-1, and then you get into the 30-1s with the Cavs at 30-1, Timberwolves at 35-1, Pelicans at 40-1, and your Bulls, like Cody mentioned, 65-1. I don't love any team really below maybe outside the Pelicans, them at 4-1. I don't hate that just because maybe Zion has this like crazy season, but I don't know if he's going to be able to stay healthy or not. So I'll probably stay away from Pelicans at 4-1. If I'm taking a long shot, I'll say Sixers 15-1.
Yeah, I don't mind that. You think the Lakers are going to be better, but man, that team is old. I don't know. As far as these ones near the top, maybe the Suns, like they kind of really disappointed in the playoffs last year. So can they get back to the finals like they did 2 years ago? At plus 1,200, that's not a bad bet. I kind of like the Nuggets at plus 1,800, considering they're getting Jamal Murray back. Remember, he didn't play like at all last year, so you have him and Jokic. I think there's some value there. We just talking about Luka. If Luka goes off and is in the MVP race, then I'm gonna believe that the Mavericks are a really good team.
I don't think they're deep enough to win a title.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, if he puts them into that echelon of elite teams, and he leads and is going to win the MVP or in the ranks to win MVP, then I think that the Mavericks at 2,200 isn't a bad sprinkle. So, yeah, I don't really like any other teams after that. I don't even like the Bulls at plus 6,500. I just think they're a very middling team this year. Unless Lonzo comes back and really helps them ascend to that next level. But I don't know.
Thankfully, they figured out something with his knee after he said he couldn't walk and jump.
Maybe the Nets at plus 700 too, just because like they've been taking that, like KD and Kyrie taking all this crap. Ben Simmons especially, this is a big revenge season for them.
Did you see Ben Simmons when they were doing the promo shoot out in like a park or something? And there's KD and Kyrie walking away, and in the background, it's Ben Simmons shooting with his left hand and airballing completely. Yeah. Get out of here with Ben Simmons talk.
Well,
I'll bet on
Ben Simmons isn't going to be asked to score. He's going to be asked to distribute the ball to Kyrie and Kevin Durant all day.
Can I put a $800 in the Nets to not win the title? Because I think that's going to be a great bet right there. Yeah. Jack R. and Reese talking about the Warriors in the chat to Widler as well, saying, must be nice being a Warriors fan, Reese saying Warriors bench keeps getting stronger and healthier. That's scary. And Jack R saying the Warriors will win it all, but I just want to rub this in Jack R's face. Last time he said someone or a team would win it all, it was the Guardians. They're losing 3-0 to the Yankees. They're getting eliminated from the playoffs. So go Guardians. Jerks.
How'd that feel to say?
Oh, great. It's the first inning, and I'm already taking a victory lap. The game's not even over, and I'm already celebrating with my Yankee boys. Anyways, that's Cody Delmendo. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the Bets account at CHGO_Bets. Thank you to Joey Mathis for producing the show.
You are welcome, Sean.
We will talk to you on Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday and Friday for college football and NFL. We will be bringing you the best picks that are on the internet. I'm not bullshitting you, not joking you. Cody's hit rate on college football in the past 2 weeks, not counting last week, have been fantastic.
Over 60%.
There you go.
If we want to be
from the weeks of
we want to talk about down metrics.
From the weeks of October 1st to October 14th, Cody had a win percentage of 60%. We're going to get you a banner and everything. We're going to fly it like the Colts did after being AFC runners up. But anyways, we'll talk to you tomorrow when we are millionaires. Bye.